días, vivientes de Filipino. Welcome. Akin na diaton panayam sa Pangulo. Mga kaibigan, narito po tayo sa daungan ng lungsod ng Zamboanga. Siyempre, kasama po din naman natin mga kaibigan at ito po ay isang karangalan na makasama ko ang ating butihing Pangulo, Her Excellency mga kaibigan, Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. Magandang umaga po. Buenos días, ma'am.
Buenos días, Joel.
Yeah.
Buenos días a todos ustedes de Zamboanga y enhorabuena por la inauguración de nuestro pantalan de Zamboanga.
Sí.
Puerto de Zamboanga.
Puerto de Zamboanga. Ma'am, ano po nasa, what is in the Zamboanga that you love best or that inspires you whenever na marinig niyo yung pangalan Zamboanga? What mga significant memories sa inyo? And what is it that Zamboanga, or like me, Zamboangueños, should be proud of?
Well, first of all, what always comes to mind
Yeah.
for me about Zamboanga, the beautiful stories of my mother of her childhood in Zamboanga.
Macaraeg.
Yes, because my lolo Juan Macaraeg worked for Santa Clara Lumber. And so he was in the undivided Zamboanga Peninsula. Of course, his headquarters was here in Zamboanga City, but then his work brought him all over the jungles of Zamboanga, especially a lot of time in Margos sa Tubig,
Zamboanga, Sibugay ngayon.
which is now in Zamboanga del Sur because there's a big port there.
Yes.
Maybe that was where the logging port was. So he left my mother in the care of the family of Cecil Obregat's grandfather, Don Pablo Lorenzo. And she grew up with them. She was valedictorian in the primary school in what is now called WIMSU.
Normal school din. Diba?
Then, correct, she was primary school valedictorian, and it is from them that she learned her Spanish, not to mention her Chabacano. And when my lolo came, that was in the 1920s, Zamboanga was the new frontier. And when people came here, they didn't come alone. They always came with a whole community of, a whole barangay of their relatives. So, as I said, it was one undivided Zamboanga Peninsula. So he brought his cousins, my lola's brother, etc., etc. And one of his cousins was Evaristo Gico, who my lolo arranged his marriage to a girl from a prominent clan in Manukan, the Sagario clan. So now I have cousins and aunts and uncles in Manukan, Zamboanga del Norte, whom I see whenever I go there. So I have, so to me, Zamboanga is like family. And the house of my mom, my lolo and my lola was in Kawakawa. So it was a very nice neighborhood. And precisely when I was going through there, and Celso and I were talking governance, but when I saw the beautiful boulevard, I said, oh, ay, qué bonito de por sí este. And because it's really so, and that's the other thing about Zamboanga, the beauty of Zamboanga. It used to be called the city of orchids, isn't it? The garden city.
Yeah.
And but it's still the city of flowers, and then that beautiful bay. And as you see, we have a project there with Ben Climaco to widen that boulevard, and then Celso said that he will also augment some of it to make it even more beautiful. So that is, I think, what the people of Zamboanga can be proud of, the beauty, the cosmopolitan nature of Zamboanga. Indeed, it is a queen city of Zamboanga. This port makes it even more convenient for Zamboanga to be a center of trade here in Mindanao, not only with the rest of the Philippines, but with other countries.
Nabanggit na po ni Ma'am tungkol sa turismo mga kaibigan. We have our own perspective also of what our strengths are and as well as our potential opportunities dito sa lungsod ng Zamboanga. Can we please share with us, Ma'am, Madam President, your own perspective and wisdom on how best to promote and develop the tourism industry in Mindanao?
Well, to develop it, you would need, of course, private sector or local government investments in tourism facilities. And then on the part of the national government, our job is to provide the access That's why one of our main projects here in Zamboanga City is the Zamboanga City Airport. And while they're doing the master plan for the bigger airport, what we have done is we have been expanding the runway to make sure that there would be big planes coming here from all over the country or the world or all over the region. And for boats to come here, we have this port, and also we have for motor vehicle travel, we've created a nautical highway so that now you can take a bus in Cubao and you can travel all the way to Zamboanga City because that bus will go on the Roro all the way up to Dapitan or Dipolog, and then we built the road. We fixed the road coming from Dipolog up to here. Very little has been left undone, but that is, I remember when I was also a brand new senator, I remember that one of the things I said in the first meeting in Malacanang I had, when we were talking about the multi-year public investment program, and they were talking about overpasses in Metro Manila. And I said, I don't know, I cannot give my vote for more overpasses in Metro Manila until I see that we are doing the whole Pagadian Zamboanga Road, what we call the longest road, because the longest time to build.
Yeah.
But as you can see, during my administration, we have hopefully almost completed it by now, and hopefully we'll be able to complete it.
Isa po sa mga itong nagko-contribute sa turismo ay yung magandang peace and order
Yes.
sa area. Given the widespread perception of the unfavorable peace and order conditions in Mindanao, particularly in Zamboanga, due to imprecise media reportage, aggravated further by generalized travel advisories of foreign governments discouraging their nationals from traveling to our area. Is there any effective way, ma'am, government media outfits like OPS, PNA, PIA, Radyo ng Bayan, and state-owned and managed television stations that can help to neutralize the incessant negative public of Zamboanga?
They can help, but given the viewership and listenership of government stations compared to the viewership and listenership of the private stations, the bigger responsibility is really in the private sector media, not to sensationalize.
Yeah.
For instance, even in other countries, there are standards that have to be kept. Like if there is a kidnapping, as long as the kidnapping is a live case, it should not be reported on until the rescue happens. And then, if there are terrorists or hostage takers making their demands, they should not be given airtime. Because those are the things that contribute to this perception, what you call imprecise, of a bad peace and order situation.
That's the reason why yung
Yes.
KBP ay naglagay na rin na ngayon ng provisions on the broadcast code in matter of this mga peace and order.
Yes, and of course, we have to really address the peace and order substantively. So I congratulate the Marines for what they have recently accomplished in Basilan. I commiserate with the family of the one Navy personnel that passed away, that was killed, and I'll be visiting him before leaving Zamboanga City. Of course, the peace process is very important. Before we got distracted by the beautiful view of the sea, Celso and I were talking about the peace process and how it is very important to have a good understanding of the peace process so that it can be supported. A peace that is lasting and just for all concerned. And